So we're out here, we're doing the trolling motor shootout. We wanted to know for ourselves which one's the best, so we're gonna put them all to the test. We have a Minn Kota Quest, we have a Rhodan, we have a power pole move, and then we have the Garmin trolling motor. We have them all on the exact same boats with the same amount of fuel in them, and we have the least amount of variables as possible. So we're gonna test them out and see what they'll do. So what we're doing, we're starting off with the pull test, and we're starting off with the Rhodan trolling motor. We have a scale here, rated to 600 pounds, attached to this dock pylon here behind us, and we're gonna put the trolling motor down as deep in the water as they can possibly go. We're gonna put the trolling motor on its maximum thrust, maximum speed, and see how many pounds each trolling motor pulls. So we just finished up the pull test, and here are the numbers. We have the Rhodan was pulling about 104 pounds. The Minn Kota was achieving about 112 pounds. The Garmin came in at 119, and the power pole came in at 123. That was our leader so far in the pull test. So we're on to the next test, and we'll see who wins that one. So now we're gonna do the spot lock test. We have a buoy that's anchored, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the outboard engine, and we're gonna drive up next to the buoy, and then we're gonna hit the anchor feature of each trolling motor, and we're gonna see how close that trolling motor holds us to that buoy. So we're gonna kick this one off with the champion of the pull test. We're gonna start with the power pole move. All right, so we tried to do a spot lock test, and all of them seemed so close to the buoy that we couldn't even really see a difference. Unfortunately, we don't have anything to report, but we felt like they were all very close. There wasn't any significant variance in between how close they were holding to the buoy. So this next test we're gonna do is the amperage draw test. You know, all these things are all powered by batteries. The battery capacity on every boat is only a certain size. So you want to know how many amps your trolling motor is drawing, because that could dictate how long you could be fishing on that battery for the day. So we have one of these devices. We're going to hook it up, and we're going to read the amperage at the lowest speed and the highest speed, and just compare them and see which ones draws the most, which ones draw the least. So we just did the amperage test. The Garmin trolling motor pulled the most amperage at high speed, and the Rhodan trolling motor pulled the least amount of amperage at high speed. And that, what we call it, your normal fishing speed. The power pole pulled the least amount of amperage at your fishing speed, which was roughly half throttle. And it looks like the Garmin pulled the most amount of amperage at your fishing speed. All of that data will be in the link that will be attached to this video. So our next test is going to be the speed test. So basically what we're simulating is, say if you're on the shoreline and you're trying to beat your buddy to the spot, and you're both on trolling motors, who's going to get there the fastest? So we have roughly about probably close to a 300-yard distance, and we're going to trim all of our engines all the way out of the water, and we're going to put all the trolling motors on wide open, and we're going to see who makes it there first. So guys, we just completed our race, and you know, it was just neck and neck between the Power Pole, the Garmin, and the Minn Kota. They were all so close. But we think that the Garmin, you know, you guys can tell for yourselves, but we think the Garmin might have just barely edged out the Power Pole right at the end there. And the Rhodan, we were trailing pretty good ways behind on the Rhodan. So we're off to the next test here. So for our final test, we are going to do the Tug of War. And what we're gonna do the Power Pole versus the Garmin, and we're gonna set a buoy up and mark a center line and see which one can pull the other one backwards. So we're just wrapping up our tests, and the final test we took what we thought was the two hardest pulling trolling motors, which was the Garmin trolling motor and the Power Pole trolling motor, and we did the ultimate Tug of War. We took a rope, we found a center line, we placed a buoy, and we put both trolling motors on maximum power. And that Garmin, man, it just had a lot of power. It was able to pull the Power Pole boat completely backwards and right past the buoy. So that's it for today here. Well, so that concludes the trolling motor shootout. We tested all of those trolling motors: Garmin, Minn Kota, Rhodan, Power Pole. We put them through all different tests, and we're going to publish all the data so you guys can look at it. You know, at the end of the day, different trolling motors perform better than others in different tests. But to me personally, like, it's not all about performance. When you buy a trolling motor, there's more factors. Everything breaks. You know, maybe you buy the trolling motor where you know you can get it repaired the quickest and easiest. Maybe you buy the trolling motor that has the longest warranty. You know, maybe you buy the trolling motor for whoever dealer or manufacturer you have the best personal relationship with. There's a lot of things. You know, we just wanted to show you guys the data and how they all performed under the tests of which we did. So guys, we sell all 4 of these brands of trolling motors. We've installed all of them. We've done work on all of them. We work with all the manufacturers. And if you have any more questions about any of these brands, or you would like to get one installed on your boat, certain ones are probably better on certain boats. So give us a call and we would be happy to assist you. We pretty much have them all in stock at any given time too as well. 727-942-7767.